Hello and thanks for checking out yourlocalnote.com. This is the website where you can find bands and artists who live and play in the Philadelphia area. Discover the talent that resides in this area on yourlocalnote.com. Don't forget, we have podcasts every week, and then we also stream 24/7 and check out our events page where you can see your favorite bands and where they're going to be playing in the upcoming future. Don't forget, we also have our apps for both the iPhone and the Android. All you have to do is go to their respective stores, type in YLN. They are absolutely free. Download it and check out all the great music we have here on yourlocalnote.com. Now, this week's podcast, we're featuring Strange Heat, a very, very talented band that we were fortunate enough to see live, which we don't very often do, but we've seen them live, and now we got them in the studio. It's about time for a podcast. So we're going to start off with their first song. It's called Dance Tune on yourlocalnote.com. The song is called Dance Tune. The band is The Strange Heat. This is yourlocalnote.com. I'm RJ. Mike also hanging with us. All right, guys, there's a big band here. There's a bunch of us. Why don't you go down the row and introduce yourself and tell us what you do with the band?
How's it going? I'm James, and I play the bass.
Okay, James with the Bieber hair, by the way. If you check out their Facebook page, was that wrong? Was that wrong?
Nah, I get it. Okay.
That was awesome. Listen, I'm jealous. I wish I had Bieber hair. I wish I had hair in general. Go ahead. Next.
How's it going, guys? My name is Marquel, and I'm the trumpet player for The Strange Heat.
Hi, I'm Olivia Flacco. I sing, play tambourine, push buttons.
I'm Terrence. I play drums and vocals.
I'm Andrew Warren, and I play guitar and sing.
All right, very cool, guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining this this evening. Let's go real quickly. How did the band get together?
It started off 2 years ago, I think, with a slightly different lineup, and We have progressed to the current
Quintet?
The current group, yes.
Okay.
And that is the extremely abridged version. We talked a little bit last time how Olivia and James were actually Terrence's students before.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
I find that very cool.
Yeah.
That you're hanging out with the teacher now.
Yeah.
Okay. What, Olivia, Mark, tell us how it felt when the teacher came to you and said, "Hey, I want you to join the band."
Well, Terrence and I have been working together with like a manager-performer type of relationship for a while.
Okay.
And I had been a huge fan of The Strange Heap before I even joined.
All right.
And then when he asked me, it was like an obvious answer. I had to say yes.
All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. One day he's just like, we need a bass player, and he said here to check out our songs, and I started listening. I'm like, I dig these songs.
All right.
So I came in for a practice or two, and just went on from there.
How difficult was for you, Andrew, knowing that they're students of Terrence, to not say no to these guys if you didn't want them part of the band?
Yeah.
Did I put you on the spot?
No, that's all right. That's a good question. I basically made it clear that it was going to be as objective as possible. If they sounded good, then they were, were more than welcome, and I was excited to play with them. If they didn't, then
and Terrence, were you nervous at all?
No, not at all. not at all. I usually stand behind the decisions that I make, and I wouldn't have had them involved if I thought it was something that they couldn't handle.
Okay.
I'm around a lot of musicians, but at the end of the day, it boils down to a few things when you're trying to make a band, and one of them is that you get along with the people you're with.
Yeah.
So when you have that element, when things get bigger than yourself or bigger than the band itself, you can always rely on the fact that these are people that when you knew them when they were just themselves.
All right. So Andrew, you had a say. Markel, did you also have a say in who else was joining?
I didn't necessarily have a direct say, but I will say that I did enjoy playing with them the second they came on to the band. They definitely gelled very easily with what we already had going on.
So Terrence made the right call.
He made the right choice.
All right, very good. Let's get to the song, Dance Tune. Who wrote it? What is it about?
I wrote it. It's the funniest thing about this song, which I like, is the fact that people say it's catchy, which is always a nice thing, but it's not actually structured like a pop song. So I enjoy the fact that people find it to be catchy. It's because it's sort of like an A-B structure. It never comes back. It doesn't really have a hook, but it can still be catchy, which I kind of like and I've grown to appreciate. It's more of an experience of one of those nights that, you want to remember some of it and forget some of it.
Yep. And you guys made a music video that's on your website for this. Tell us about the creation of that, the idea behind it and how it got started.
I was filming a promotional video for my lessons, noise2sound.com. And I figured, I wanted to, while I had the film crew there, I wanted to take advantage of that opportunity. And we started to shoot inside my studio, and one of the guys, fortunately, was like, "This doesn't look that exciting. Let's go outside." Okay. And it was a nice fall day, and I think it turned out really well. We just decided to go outside and play the song, and that's pretty much what came out. We've been getting pretty good reception so far. And actually, a fan of ours enjoyed it so much he offered to finance the next video.
Excellent.
So we'll be working on a video very soon.
Excellent. What made you select Dance Tune as the song to do the video for?
Does anybody else have? I think it just seemed favorite. Yeah, I think it just seemed obvious.
Favorite. Everyone that typically hears that song at the shows when we play it, they enjoy it. So that was probably the easiest call.
Excellent. So do you have any idea what the next song you're going to do the video for?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Is that decision just made?
I think they all just found that out. Excellent. So you're currently working on new material? Are you currently recording? What stage are you at with your songs right now with this group?
At this point, we're done recording and we're mixing. We are in the process of solidifying a date and a venue with the great Socio, who we actually did the podcast, the first podcast with you guys. We've done a handful of shows with them already, and we love playing with them. They're great guys, great musicians, and we have a good time together. So we are both releasing new music. I think they might be releasing an album.
Yeah.
I can't say with confidence at this point, but we figured since we're both releasing music, we would join forces again, and we're looking forward to that in April.
That's a great idea, and we're definitely going to be promoting that pretty heavy, and hopefully maybe even sponsor it. RJ, all right. Let's go to the second song now, Breakdown. What can you tell us about that song?
Did you want to?
Me?
You.
Spotlight's on you.
All right, well, I actually had no idea that Breakdown was actually going to be one of our songs. Andrew just texted me one day and was like, I have this demo, do you want to work on it together? So we hung out one day in his kitchen, we played it a bit, and we sang through it, and now it's our baby.
So that was, what parts were together when he brought it to you?
He sent me an acoustic track where he sang over it. Beautiful vocals, by the way, Andrew. And we basically played with a few different key changes, and we found out which one sits comfortably with my voice and which one he thought that he could hear everybody else playing with. And that's how it happened.
All right. We have The Strange Heat in studio here this week, and this song is called Breakdown. You're listening to yourlocalnote.com.
Let my heart beat to the bass of the drum. Tonight I fought the world and the world won. Got my mind in my pocket and your heart in my hand. So I let my eyes roll to the back of my head. Just another just another breakdown. Gotta get out of this town. Just another breakdown. Stuck in the lost and found. As time rolls on and the pressure mounts, I wonder how much longer till my feet hit the ground. They say the level of on leaves room for desire. So past that shit, we need to get a little higher. Just another just another breakdown. Gotta get out of this town. Just another breakdown. Stuck in the lost and found. Just another just another breakdown. Gotta get out of this town. Just another breakdown. Stuck in the lost and found. Just another breakdown. Gotta get out of this town. Just another breakdown. Stuck in the lost and found.
And that is Breakdown. They are The Strange Heat, and this is yourlocalnote.com. Now that you guys are this quintet together now, has the songwriting process for you changed, Andrew, at all from the previous group to now?
Yeah, we are entering the first stages of really being creative together as far as new material.
Right.
I'm excited for the future where, it's a a purely collaborative effort, but we've had success recently debuting a couple songs where, I come up with a few of just ideas. Some of them are more solidified than others, and then we get together as a group and solidify them together. Whereas
before, you already had almost a final product with the songs, and then you were able to give it to them. Now it's earlier in that process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, when they first came on, we weren't really working on anything new because we were just trying to get the music sounding the best that we could, since they were new and they weren't as familiar with the music and the sound and the material. But fortunately, we're past that stage and we're focusing on new songs, logos, and really moving forward as a group rather than building. We're past that stage.
Okay. Can you cite any changes from songs written earlier to the songs that you are working on right now?
As far as the process?
Well, as far as how they've come out, how these songs sound, is there a difference between what they sound now as opposed to maybe the initial concept before they even got here?
Oh, you're saying how did they end up from where I started and where in the
right? Using their input now to create these songs.
Yeah.
How has the direction changed, if at all?
I haven't noticed any dramatic changes, but in general, I try and keep a very open mind when I bring the songs to them, or ideas, or even just jams, and that way I don't have any preconceived notions, because I learned, from the past that, the more solidified your preconceived notions become, the harder it is to create with somebody else, because you're giving them something, but you really already know what you want to do with it, and that's not really fair.
Exactly.
I try and keep it as open as possible before I give it to them, or before we work on it together. That way it's really on the table, not sort of like, why don't you take this and work on it, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I want you to do with it. That's not That's not really fair. So I just the short answer to that is
is 3 minutes ago. No.
I think the sounds changed from a perspective of it. It used to be more of a rock folk type sound to me, where now it's geared more towards rock and funk, which I think the elements that some of us knew we possessed and others didn't know that we possessed. But that's a whole nother story. But it has definitely changed as far as the overall sound as the band is concerned. As far as the writing process still seems to be, it hasn't changed much for me, I should say personally, because from a creative standpoint, usually whatever input I had and I bring to the table, I always feel like it was accepted and either, dealt with in using the song or not. So the good thing is that, there's not a lot of personal problems when presenting ideas here. Usually it's presented, it's either used or it's not. So it's not, a bad thing.
Okay. Andrew, now with the fact that 4 out of the 5 sing, right?
All of us sing it at one point or another.
At one point or another.
Yeah.
How do you determine who's going to sing or not? That was a great thing about watching the show, because it was like, okay, Olivia sang for a little bit, then she moves into the back, and then Markel came up and he sang, and then Andrew came and sang, and then you look back and Terrence is now going to sing. How do you come up with it? When you're writing a song, do you say, you know what, this one's for Terrence? No, this one's for Markel.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, the first part of that process is, can I sing this song? No? Okay, so then who is going to sing this song?
So you can't sing it, so you throw it off to someone else.
Right.
Okay.
And then at that point, it's lyrical content and style.
So, do you ever sit down and think of an idea and say, you know what, this fits Terrence, or no, this fits Markel?
Yeah,
so
sure.
The different personalities influence how you're writing a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And as you're writing like that, do you then go to Terrence and say, hey, listen, I want to write this song and I have you in mind? Do you then get input from him as you're writing, or that just comes in as the group gets together?
So far, we've really been working on them as a group.
Okay.
The only thing that I work on individually is mostly just range, the key of the song.
All right.
Because I've learned a lot from Terrence, who teaches, who's a vocal teacher, that the key of the song can really help bring the song to life. If it's in a good range for the singer, the song has much more emotion.
Terrence, do you find yourself sometimes teaching as you're practicing with these guys?
Every time. Every time. But it's cool because, I find myself learning a lot as well.
Okay.
So, in order to be a good teacher, you have to be a good learner as well. So, I do pay attention to them a lot. And, sometimes they know, I feel like, when I'm learning, and then other times they have no idea. So, that's the joy probably, too, of being the oldest in the group.
And it's also, it's, there's something that said to be the oldest. I understand that. But there's also something to be said as being the older person, still learning from people who are younger than you. And I think that's a key to a lot of people's success. If you think you know it all, that's when you run into problems. The fact that you have an open mind and saying, I can learn from, these younger people, I think it only helps the band as you go. Do you ever get together, Andrew, and as you're putting a song together, by the time it finishes, you're like, I didn't expect that person to be singing this song. Have you ever experienced that?
Yes.
Next. No.
Yeah.
To elaborate on that. There are times where you're going to say, you think you're going to sing and you end up not singing?
No, I always end up singing if I think it sounds good.
Very nice. All right, real quickly, one thing I'm always interested in is what influenced you to get into this career. I mean, what as you were growing up, what artist, what song, what your parents or friends. How did that start? We'll start with Bieber. Did Bieber? Listen, it was on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
Oh, man.
That's courtesy
awesome,
of Andrew. That was courtesy of Andrew on our website. That little note at the bottom. But I don't know. I listened to a lot of stuff. I grew up. We used to go on some long trips, and my dad would always play Beatles. Mm-hmm. He would play the same exact CD over and over again. There's 3-hour car rides.
So you were inundated with it, and sort of
pretty
just,
much. They were a big influence, but now, nowadays, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Please a big influence.
Especially the bass player, yeah. Yeah, you're not the first person who's told us that. That's cool. Markel?
Nice. My grandfather actually played trumpet, so
nice.
I've never got to see him play trumpet, but I picked it up and went through school playing trumpet. Back in the day, I grew up on Earth, Wind, and Fire, Motown type tunes, so I feel like I kind of bring that type of a vibe to the band, and I really feel like I got into this mainly because music is life. Music is my life. I love music, and I love appreciating and understanding it with other people and with everyone else in the group, and it's a joy. It's been definitely a joy and a great pleasure.
Very good. Olivia?
Well, I think my dad actually played me my very first rock record, which was Bon Jovi, and we used to drive down to the shore and rock out to
Bon Jovi.
Keep the faith and all that stuff.
Nice.
So ever since then, I always had a really soft spot for rock music, and when I started taking lessons with Terrence, I was in 5th grade or something like that. I was a little tiny girl in Catholic school, rocking out to music and all of this stuff, and since then it just nothing ever made sense except for singing and performing, and it's I've only ever been comfortable on a stage and with these guys, the people I love, doing what I love. So nothing really made sense but this. So this is it.
Terrence.
Excuse me.
That's okay. We can edit that out.
I got into music pretty much to keep me out of trouble, and
didn't work. No, I'm kidding.
and I loved it and enjoyed it, and decided to pursue it as a career because I was around a lot of musicians growing up in D.C. who were a lot older than me, and a lot more seasoned than a musician, than I, of course, at such a young age. I started playing in church when I was about 7 years old, 8 years old. And, progressed all the way through high school playing in church, went to an arts high school, went to an arts university. So music was no longer a dream. It became a reality very quick for me.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a while.
All right. Very good. Andrew, wrap it up for us.
My mom's a singer-songwriter, so I sort of grew up, with the acoustic guitar and folk thing going on.
Right.
And then... I don't know, 4th grade hit and I started loving the Beatles. I tried to turn everybody on to the Beatles. Nobody wanted to listen in 4th grade. And then, for a while when I was a kid, it was Hendrix, Sublime, Beatles. I mean, then got into punk for a while. So, long story short, it's always what I was interested in. I mean, I used to, just
from
what I like.
From the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very cool. Your parents, especially the ones who are still around, they very much into what you guys are doing? Do they like what they hear?
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool.
My mom.
Your mom loves it, okay. and your dad, Olivia, even though he's a big Bon Jovi fan, is he grooving to the Strange Heat?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go to song number 3. It's called Tracks. Let's hear who wrote it. What is it about?
It's not I wouldn't say it sounds necessarily super sad or anything, but it's about a lost love, basically.
Okay.
I mean,
from experience or just it was an idea?
Well, what's funny is actually one of the lines in that song, the tracks in my veins spell out your name, I wrote in high school, and I was just waiting for a chance to use it. And then I was watching a movie one night, and it was late, and, late nights and being alone, that's when you write songs sometimes.
Okay.
And I finally got to use that lyrics. I was happy about that. That's where the title comes from. And it's definitely semi-autobiographical.
Okay, very cool.
Say.
All right, the song is called Tracks. We're hanging with the Strange Heat. This is yourlocalnote.com.
Alone with my thoughts and a pack of smokes, my mind still racing with the words she spoke. The day that she left it all behind. These tracks in my veins still spell out her name, and I think out loud, what a shame. Got all fucked up by the game of life. Let's play pretend, we'll fake it through the night, and in this bed we'll make it alright. 'Cause when the morning comes, you'll see the light. Dark city nights with all of their mystique. It feels like a circus and I'm the freak. Welcome to my train ride.
The song is called Tracks. The band is The Strange Heat. This is yourlocalnote.com. All right, guys, we were very fortunate enough to see you guys live, and you put on a great show. Tell people who haven't seen you, but they after hearing this podcast, want to see you. Describe your live show. Who wants to take that?
It's definitely high energy. You're not going to be bored at all because we keep you going. Everybody participates, so you'll be able to see the talents of each member, and hopefully you'll dance and have fun.
When you talk, or Terrence and I guess Andrew, when you were getting new people in, were you hoping to have everyone be able to sing? Is that an important part, or did that just fall into place?
It was definitely strategic.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because Andrew and I talk about this a lot. Strategy, and dealing with how we deal with the band and how we deal with, bringing new people in and how we, can use them. It's best to have not only talented people, but people that do more than one thing, musically and artistically, because he, like he said, he writes lyrics, he writes the songs, but when he brings them, because of the musicality in the group, each one of us brings something different to the table. So it's like a gumbo of music, and then, we kind of sift through it and, take out the ingredients that, make it suck and leave the ones in that make it great, So it's a good thing. It's a great process, and I enjoy it a lot more than any process I've been a part of so far.
Excellent. Now, individually, anyone feel free to answer this. What's your favorite part of being on stage? What is it that you like to do the most on stage for a crowd?
I love interacting with the crowd. I think it's the energy. It's really getting that one-on-one contact, making that eye contact with the crowd, and getting everybody revved up and on the same level as you, and making sure everyone's having a good time, enjoying the music.
Right.
Yep. Getting them to jump in, join in with us.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually like it when the crowd interacts with me. I have one memorable experience when a bra was thrown at me, and I was like, "Oh, what was that?"
I remember that.
We get the crowd going. They get us going. We get and everything. Energy's good.
Did you ever figure out where that came from, or was it just like a sea of people and then a bra just flies out of nowhere?
That's how it started out, and then I figured out who it was at the end. So it's pretty good.
Was it disappointing?
No, it wasn't disappointing. It wasn't an old lady or anything. So that's all I was worried about.
Good. Anyone else?
Mine's is a little weird. It's a little strange. My favorite part of the show generally is when I look out into the crowd and I see someone that didn't think that we were going to sound the way we sound. Yeah. And it's always the same face. It kind of looks like this.
How did that sound to everyone that's listening to the podcast? I hope everyone heard that.
But to make a long story short, it's always it's shock and awe. It's usually because you never know what to expect when you see the group of people that are together. Because not only do we look different, but you never know where to put us where you see us. But then when you hear us, it's a different story. It begins to make more sense.
All right. Now, where can we see you guys play next?
That's a great question. Right now, YouTube. Oh, well, you can definitely see us on YouTube.
Any day of the week.
Yeah. Check it out. But right now we're actually in the process of booking, a dual release show with the Great Socio. Right. And we're focused on that effort because it's going to be a great show. We really want to, do our best with that and make sure that everybody can come out and enjoy us. So right now, that's our focus. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, you just mentioned YouTube. What are some other sites where people can find your music?
We have thestrangeheat.com, which is brand spanking new, so check it out because we worked hard on it. We also have a Twitter @thestrangeheat. There'll be funny pictures and stuff posted there. We also have a Facebook fan page, which is The Strange Heat.
SoundCloud. Bandcamp.
Reverb Nation.
All right. And you had the video done for Dance Tune, and you're going to have another one coming up. It's for Philadelphia, apparently, we all learned.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right, so we'll be on the lookout for that. Guys, thanks so much for coming in studio and talking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Let's go to this last song, Philadelphia. Tell us what that song's about.
That song, others might have more to speak about it than I do. I didn't write this. Actually, Dave Will Sorenz, one of the former members, wrote this, and we were like, you know what? If he's cool with it, we still like this song. It's actually I still think it's a great song.
It's more of a lyrical art piece. Dave's a visual artist, and when you hear the song, it's kind of one of those things where you can paint the imagery of the city of Philadelphia through a couple of different time periods. But when he wrote the song, I know that he had a few other things in mind when he wrote it as far as the vision behind it, which I care not to discuss right now. But what I can say is that Dave is still a really good friend of the band, and I'm really happy and glad that he still allows us to play that tune because it's actually one of my favorites. It also has a different structure than most songs. It is a little different as well. So that's one of the other reasons why I like it, because with The Strange Heat, we do have a few strange song structure choices, but it's more of a dare to be different thing, because we do need things to set us apart from other bands that we are currently competing with in this very small music industry. So one of the things that we decided to, focus on from, a standpoint of writing is I always try to encourage Andrew to stay out of the box. There are times where he, wants to say, this has to be, the chorus has to come here, the bridge has to come here, or we're influenced by other writers who we won't speak about right now, to make it more structurally apt and understandable to the the listener and the audience. But I think the quirkiness and the weird song structure is what is going to propel us forward in the industry.
Excellent. All right. Well, really looking forward to the video, and also really looking forward to your show with the great Socio. We'll have all that up on the site. And again, thanks for coming in the studio.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
No problem.
you.
All right, we're going to have another featured podcast up next Monday as well. And just a reminder, you can download our apps for free at the iTunes Store or Android Store. Just search YLN. And also, we have our weekly newsletter. So if you want to sign up for that, it's contact@yourlocalnote.com to get your name on the list. Once again, we've been talking with The Strange Heat, and we'll finish up with their song, Philadelphia. You're listening to yourlocalnote.com.
Philadelphia, 1952. The last of many first times I've been with you. I hang up the telephone where it's ringing in the sun. I step outside and shake off my old skin. And one day I know things will change. Your head and your heart will be arranged. But for now, all I'm going on is faith. I'll wait for now, but seasons change. So take it slow now, we can wait. You cast the line, I took the bait. Hooky song, waiting on a slide of a tongue. Philadelphia, 1952. Last of many first times I've been with you. I hang up the telephone where it's ringing in the sun. I step outside and shake off my old skin. I don't know how to make things right. I don't know how to give you my